Okay, this is Loni Anderson. She was an American actress, best known for playing receptionist Jennifer Marlowe on the CBS sitcom WKRP in Cincinnati, which earned her nominations for 3 Golden Globe Awards and 2 Emmy Awards. But she has died at age 79. And I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed with the Associated Press because look at this. I mean, I don't know. Disable my ad blocker. Very disappointing cuz I don't even know what ad blocker I have. But man, I can't, maybe I'll consider it, but that doesn't mean I should be just blocked out of it, right? Completely. Anyways, I don't know what ad blocker I have. So after a little bit of struggle with that, I guess they just completely block you from using the their site or whatever, you know. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe no more Associated Press, but a lot of these pages are doing this now. So I don't think I'm going to be able to refer back to the Associated Press for this article. But you see that right there? Pretty disappointing. But Loni Anderson, they say she was. Now I'm kind of looking at the USA Today now here because I was able to. They gave me the option to consider disabling the ad blocker. But I could. Okay, I'm considering it, but I can still view. So Anderson, who played Jennifer Marlowe on WKRP in Cincinnati, died in Los Angeles August 3rd after an acute prolonged illness. The actress's representative Cheryl Kagan confirmed to the USA Today. She was surrounded by her family, who wrote in a statement, "We are heartbroken to announce the passing of our dear wife, mother, and grandmother." And I can go to her page right here. Okay, so she's best known for that role. You could see some other movies and shows she was in there. Her portrayal of Jennifer Marlowe earned her 2 Emmys and 3 Golden Globe nominations. I think I said that earlier. And she also appeared in the 1980 film The Jane Mansfield Story as the iconic star, and in the 1983 comedy Stroker Ace with Burt Reynolds, who I think Burt was her former husband. Her other credits include The Love Boat, Partners in Crime, Easy Street, Nurses, and Melrose Place.
Mr. Carlson, Mr. Travis is here to see you. Travis. I don't know. He claims to be the new program director.
Loni Anderson, best known for her role as this witty receptionist on the hit TV comedy WKRP in Cincinnati, has died at the age of 79 and just days before her 80th birthday. According to her longtime publicist, Anderson died at a hospital right here in Los Angeles following a prolonged illness. Anderson married actor Burt Reynolds not long after WKRP ended, and the two share a son. Anderson was nominated for Emmys and Golden Globes during her career. Tonight, actress Barbara Eden is remembering Anderson as a dear friend. And Morgan Fairchild also sharing a post where she remembered Anderson as, quote, the sweetest, most gracious lady. Anderson, survived by her husband and 2 adult children.
All right.
She dies 2 days before her birthday.
Mr.
2 days before her birthday, y'all. Is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence? Born August 5th, dies August 3rd. Even in the language, look at Loni 58 in reverse, and she's born the 5th day of the 8th month. She dies 8/3, 2 days before her birthday. Anderson starred on the big screen along Burt Reynolds in the 83 comedy Stroker Ace, and August 3rd is the 8th month and the 3rd day. I want you to look back over to the right there. So, and the two, Burt Reynolds and her, later married and became tabloid fixtures before their messy breakup in 94. But look, you see the 83-58 connection with the death and the birthday. Okay. Notice, I want you to look at that 58, and that's the reverse cipher. Okay. So Loni, that's pretty simple. Reverse with the alphabet. Look at 58 with Loni. And this is Loni Anderson. Arn Anderson was born in 58. I mean, if you're an older, maybe male, like probably more so males maybe would be into pro wrestling. If you're an older male as myself, you remember Arn Anderson, Four Horsemen, WCW, pro wrestler. Arn Anderson, born in 58. And then Loni equals 58. She's born the 5th day of the 8th month. And I'm going to show you how all of this stuff is controlled with the language and these names, as I have multiple connections here. How much you want to bet Loni Anderson is connected to Pamela Anderson? I just, you get the blonde, right? You get the same last name. I added that late. So, I didn't notice anything. I like to just add things if I notice something like bam right away. Like with the Arn Anderson. I just added Pam in there late because, these characters are just recycled and used again. So, I mean, you get the same last name, and I'm almost positive it's just a recycled version of Loni Anderson, right? I did some, obviously, this character's with Baywatch. I did a little bit of looking at like David Hasselhoff, Burt Reynolds, and I saw some interesting stuff there where Burt Reynolds kind of looked like Billy Bob Thornton. I saw a picture where he kind of looked like Ashton Kutcher. I'm telling you, there's something going on in the world, or more so with these celebrities. There's something going on. Okay, these characters are connected somehow, some way. Look at Burt Reynolds' middle name. So they said they were married and then they had a messy divorce. They were in the movie Stroker Ace. You see the picture right there? Look at this, man. Burt Reynolds' middle name is Leon. It's kind of like Loni. Burton Leon Reynolds. Leon, Loni, and they're connected and they were a couple. So what was the show WKRP Cincinnati about? Let's go over here. Let me ask Google. What was WKRP in Cincinnati about? Sounds like a radio show, right? I was pretty young. I was pretty young when this show was out. I may have seen it like a couple of times. Okay, look at that first episode date, September 18, right there. What did we just see? Didn't we just see September 20? Right there. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Arn Anderson's birthday is September 20th. WKRP in Cincinnati with Loni Anderson. First episode was 2 days before Arn Anderson's birthday. You see that? When he's born in 58 and Lonnie equals 58. You like that on the fly right there? So when a Cincinnati radio station switches from sedate music to top 40 rock and roll, its staff of oddball characters has to switch gears quickly. New program director Andy Travis, kind of like Randy Travis, brings in a DJ. Look at this, Venus Flytrap. Venus Williams, wasn't she just trending recently? I mean, I just did a story on Venus, like 2 weeks ago? A DJ named Venus Flytrap to work with the station's burned out veteran, Dr. Johnny Fever, neurotic newsman, Les Nessman, eager beaver Bailey Quarters, sleazy salesman, Herb Tarlek, blonde bombshell, who is Loni Anderson, and that's Jennifer Marlowe, who serves as the station's ultra-capable receptionist. Okay, so it's like a radio station, 4 seasons, 90 episodes. You see the characters right there. Okay. So there's another Arn Anderson connection there that we just caught with the first episode date 2 days before his birthday. Okay, I want you to see here that she is born in Minnesota. And I just had this Minnesota Lynx trending story as they acquire Dejanay Carrington in a trade from Dallas. Well, look, that's Minnesota connected, right? But look at Lynx even starts with the L like Lonnie, and it's got 4 letters like Lonnie. But Carrington even rhymes with Anderson, kind of. Dejanay Carrington, Loni Anderson. And I want to show you these numbers and how I just dropped the Soulja Boy breakdown. And his full name has 187 and 245. Just like WKRP in Cincinnati, 187 and 245. Even here, look at this. Shakari Richardson. Richardson like Anderson. You see that? She's trending with domestic violence on her boyfriend. She's a track and field sprinter. And domestic violence trending. Look at domestic violence has 88 like WKRP in Cincinnati. Track and field sprinter 101 like WKRP in Cincinnati. You see that Trump has that 88. Loni K. Anderson equals 88. We're in the 8th month as she dies of an illness. It says popular 1980s actor. 80 like 8. Remember Hulk Hogan just died recently. H, the eighth letter of the alphabet. Dog the Bounty Hunter's step grandson or whatever. Hunter, H. I mean, come on, right? You know, Malcolm Jamal Warner, he dies. Birthday in the 8th month like Hulk Hogan. So look at, you see how all of this stuff connects right there. And, you know, obviously you get a Donald Trump connection, Richardson, Carrington, Anderson, Lonnie, Leon. You see the language, and there's a lot going on here. So as a decoder, you know what's amazing? Even that movie Stroker Ace with Burt Reynolds, you see the poster right there? That's amazing because Minnesota brings in Dejanay Carrington. And what happened is their player got injured. I'm trying to think of her name. She was the MVP of the WNBA All-Star game, but she got injured against the Aces. I can't remember her name right now, so we're going to go over to Google. Injury versus Aces. Nafisa Collier. Look at this. Injury update. Links forward. Leaves game versus the Aces with ankle injury. She was the MVP of the WNBA All-Star game. Isn't that amazing? Look at the game was against the Aces. Now Minnesota acquires Dejanay Carrington. Links L like Lonnie with the 4 letters. With this Loni Anderson connection, born in Minnesota, Minnesota Lynx, with this trade, Burt Reynolds, Loni Anderson, and Stroker Ace, like aces. She dies in the year 2025. Lonnie K. Anderson equals 250, like 25. Even Trump equals 25. Keep in mind, she dies at 79, okay? She played Jennifer Marlowe. Look at the different spelling with this hockey player that I remember. Patrick Marlowe. Look at the different spelling, but it's pronounced the same. That hockey player, Patrick Marlowe, was born in 79. Loni Anderson, age at death, 79. Her character last name, you see Marlowe and Patrick Marlowe. This is the world stage. You want to see something else? You want to see something else? O.J. Simpson's date of birth, 7/9, July 9. Simpson, Anderson, Pamela Anderson, like I mentioned earlier, more than likely connected. Arn Anderson. Look at Patrick Marlowe even has the 159 birthday, 15th day of the 9th month. Donald Trump equals 159. Isn't this wild? It's wild.
Now to some breaking news here. Actress Loni Anderson has died just days before her 80th birthday. Anderson was best known for her role in the hit 80s TV comedy WKRP in Cincinnati. She was nominated for Emmy and Golden Globe Awards for her role as an empowered receptionist. Anderson shared the screen with Burt Reynolds in the comedy Stroker Ace, who she was married to until 1994. Her publicist says she died in a hospital in Los Angeles following a prolonged...
Man, she was married to Burt Reynolds. That's interesting because Halliburton was one of the stars in the NBA Finals, and Burton is Burt Reynolds. But let's look at Burt Reynolds real quick, because I was getting Billy Bob Thornton vibes. And you get the B, right? Burt, Billy Bob. And when I was looking at this earlier, I was like, I think it was with the Billy Bob picture. Here's Burt Reynolds. God, he looks like Billy Bob Thornton, doesn't he? But I noticed that Billy Bob was looking like Ashton Kutcher, and I'm not going to go too long here, but I have to point this out. I don't know if I can find the exact image I was looking for, but let me just click on this. So you see, and it's amazing because Billy Bob Thornton's birthday, one day after the death of Loni Anderson, and obviously one day before her birthday. But you see Burt Reynolds, here's Billy Bob Thornton. And before I could look for pics where he looks like Burt Reynolds and all of that, I noticed this picture and I'm like, dude, he looks like Ashton Kutcher. I'm like, God, he kind of looks like Ashton Kutcher there. And I guess there is some similarities there with that pic, but maybe some older pics from a while back, maybe more so. Looks like Burt Reynolds. I mean, there is a similar look there, but he's really looking like Ashton Kutcher here. Billy Bob. These characters are connected, I'm telling you. And when I pull up Ashton Kutcher, and I don't know if I have to go search for an exact pick or whatever, but if you know anything about these characters, his first name's even Christopher. You get Christ in there. Again, that's Donald Trump's dad's middle name, Christ. But yeah, Billy Bob's looking like Ashton Kutcher. Not saying like Ashton Kutcher looks old like Billy Bob. I'm just saying you can see it in the face. But I don't know. I just wanted to point that out. And there's probably some. You see, Ashton Kutcher is 47 with the February 7 birthday right there. You see, Billy Bob's birthday was yesterday. And look, I think Burt Reynolds' birthday is 4 days after Ashton. I think. It is. Look at this. You see, so there's something going on here for sure. Uh Look at that 2/11 birthday right there for Burt Reynolds. And then Ashton Kutcher 2/7 4 days before that. And there may be a 47 connection in there. Again, I'm not. Look at that. Look at Billy Bob Thornton. Looks like Ashton Kutcher right there, doesn't he? Big time. And you see that similar look with Burt Reynolds again right there. And I could look at some other Billy Bob pictures, like I mentioned earlier, back in the day, where he may more so look like Burt Reynolds. Here's some Billy Bob pictures right here. You could tell these are characters. Look at how he's all dressed up right there. Right? Look, he looks different. I know these pictures, have age to them, and each one's a different time frame, but he freaking looks different in almost every picture. Man, he looks like Ashton Kutcher right there. Look at this. Let's pull this up. Let's see if I can get this picture to pull up decent right here. Let's see. Maybe right here. God, Ashton Kutcher vibes right there, man. For real, I see it all in the face. And I think there was a 47 connection somewhere in there, right? Look, he was in that 70s show. Look, he's born on the 7th. That 70s show, Ashton Kutcher, born on the 7th. And I think we just saw that somebody was born in 1970. Oh no, look, Billy Bob Thornton is age 70 right now. His birthday sandwiched in between the death and the birthday of Loni Anderson. Thornton, Anderson, Billy, Bob, Burt, and Burt Reynolds. I'm even getting David Hasselhoff vibes a little bit. And look, David Hasselhoff, his birthday is 16 days after Pam Anderson. Come on, man. And they're both in Baywatch. Baywatch B, Burt B, Billy Bob B. Right? So yeah, these characters are all scripted together. I just wanted to show you that real quick, okay? Tom Selleck probably connected as well. They just repackage and give you these characters again, and I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences. That's just like a mainstream word that they train people to say. What a coincidence. It's a coincidence. It's a coincidence. It's a coincidence. You like the thumbnail? They say she battled an illness. I can't refer back to the article because of my ad blocker. But you know how they get down. And that's everything I entered right there. Okay? That's everything I entered, which isn't much. And there's going to be more within. There's going to be more within there. I had that 148. Oh, her birthday left 148 days in the year. Is it Donald J. Trump that equals 148? Donald J. Trump has that 148. WKRP in Cincinnati, that's Ohio. Remember, Ohio has that 47 like Trump, 29 like Trump, 61 and 16 like John. And there's that 47 again with Donald John Trump. 61 and 16 connected. Okay, so I kind of rambled a little longer than I wanted to here. There's more connections. I'm sure we could probably be here for hours. But I hope you enjoyed my connections and my breakdown of the death of Loni Anderson. I don't get paid to do this. I'm not going to do this big documentary. I'm a decoder. That's my decode. They say she was battling a long illness. Okay, until next time.